Hi, my name's Simon from writtenlegalenglish.com and welcome to another video where we're going to have a look at some texts and redraft them into plain English. These are the two texts that I would like you to redraft into plain English. In order to redraft them into plain English, you have to ask yourself the same question for both of these texts. What is this text actually trying to say? What is the main message behind these texts? If you've had a look at my explainer videos in the past, I talk about this question a lot because it really gets to the nuts and bolts of why the author or why the writer was writing in the first place. There was a main message, there was a basic point of communication, but then somehow in the writing process this became overly complex and hard, and they used lots of unnecessary language, etc., etc. And what we are left with is what you can read. However, to redraft them into plain English, we've got to look at slightly different aspects to correct. And in my video at the end of the week, where I go through this and I break down these texts, then I explain what those are in a lot more detail to help you understand that plain English corrections isn't just about one thing or two things, but actually many different things, and that you've got to treat each text in a slightly different way. Now, of course, if you are the writer and you're making the same mistakes over and over again, that's not a problem. But when it comes to, that's easy to correct. Just find out what those mistakes are and don't do them anymore, which is easier said than done. I know. But nevertheless, when you're dealing with lots of different texts written by lots of different authors, then you've got to apply different approaches, different ideas, and have a wide understanding of what plain English is and how we can interpret a text using different approaches and using different techniques. Now, these two texts aren't actually my two texts. I've taken them from a special place on the internet, and in my video at the end of the week I'll tell you where I got them from. I'll introduce the website. It's a fantastic resource because there's nothing greater than seeing other organizations' materials where they have before and after texts. So here we've actually got a correct answer of kinds, because this is the correct answer, or this is the suggested rewrite as proposed by that website. Of course, in your redraft, you might come up with a slightly different redraft, use a slightly different idea, but it would be interesting to see at the end of the week if your redraft is actually similar to the redraft as proposed by this website, or indeed by my redraft as I attempt to redraft this text as well. So if you want to see my video at the end of the week, then please sign up to my website. There are instructions in the below the video to tell you how to do that. And if you don't see my video at the end of the website, if you don't want to join up to my website free of charge, that's not a problem, then I'll update this video at the end of the week with a link in the video description below telling you where I got these resources from. So even if you don't want to join up, and I really recommend that you do, then you can still use this wonderful resource. Okay, that's all from me. I'll see you at the end of the week.